Today we are going to talk all things about getting past the overwhelm that often comes with not only goal setting, but goal achievement. Hello and welcome to video 2 in our goal setting series. I am so excited you are back and I cannot wait to chat with you today about more things goal setting. If you have not seen video 1 in this goal setting series, make sure to go back. It is linked in the description box below. It is all about discovering which type of goalee that you are and how you can use that identification for yourself to help you move forward. This is the perfect video to follow that up because now that we figured out the type of goal setting person you are, goalee, now we have an opportunity to make sure that we bust down any overwhelm that you might be feeling. Because a lot of times we can come up with a goal, we can identify it, but then we get scared and we get nervous, and that is often what makes us stall out and makes us just stop and we don't take any other action moving forward. I want to help you today so that you are taking action, you are taking the steps that you need so that you can really start working towards achieving those goals that you're after. In this video, I'm going to share 5 tips with you on how you can overcome the overwhelm that comes with goal setting. So let's dive right into it. Tip number 1, I want you to write the goal down. This is such a key task. When you can literally get the idea, the goal out of your mind and onto paper, there's just something about getting it out of your mind that makes a whole difference. I love writing things down. I'm a pen and paper gal, but I also have recently transferred over to doing a lot of things digitally. Regardless, get it out of your brain. Type it, write it, whatever you need to do, but this is going to be a key part in the process because there's something about when we keep it stuck up here, it doesn't seem real. But the moment we get it out of our mind and onto paper or onto a computer or onto a phone, it's like, oh, it's out in the world now. When we keep a goal in our brain, sometimes we can build it up to be much scarier than it actually is. Think of like going to a haunted house or watching a scary movie. Knowing that the house is haunted or knowing that the movie is scary, you're already building it up in your brain to be like, oh no, this is gonna be really scary. So when you go to the haunted house, you're already on edge. You're already, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? I'm scared. So the lights being out, of course it's gonna be dark, but you're already more scared of that dark place that you're going. You're already anticipating that there's gonna be loud noises and like maybe scary people walking through the hallways, or in the scary movie, you're already worried that there's gonna be a monster jump out or whatever it might be. You've already set yourself up because you've built it up in your brain to be scary. I'm more jumpy when I'm watching a scary movie because I know it's supposed to be scary. Whereas if I'm watching a chick flick and something scares me in it, I'm not expecting that, and so I'm not gonna jump as much, or I'm not going to be anticipating that it's scary. The same thing goes for our goals. When we keep it in our brain, we start building up that the reason we're not achieving that goal is because it's too scary, it's too hard. We don't have the skills. And we continue, the longer it stays up there in our brain, the more we build it up like this wall of I can't do it because it's too hard, I'm not qualified, it's scary, I will have to get outside my comfort zone if I want to achieve this. So if we can get it out of our brain and onto paper, or in the phone, or on the computer, on the laptop, it can make a huge difference because all of a sudden we can see that's actually not so scary. It's not. And not only that, if we can get it out of our brain, we've already taken a major first step of action towards that goal. We've identified it. We've put it out into the world, and that's gotta be the first step for any goal that you ever work towards. Tip number 2, now that you have written that goal down, maybe you wrote down more than one goal. Maybe you had lots of different goals and you just got them all out of your brain. I want you now to pick one goal. So in the event you are a hungry goalee, referring to video 1 in this series, and you have all of these different goals and aspirations that you want to achieve, I want to encourage you to start with just one goal. I talked about the hungry goalie, and I even shared that you could pick 3 goals: a professional, a personal, and a happy goal. But if writing all those goals down still seems too overwhelming, or even picking 3 goals still seems too overwhelming, I want you to pick just one goal. Tip number 3, you are going to brain dump everything that it's going to take to achieve that goal. So we've already gotten the goal out of our brain, okay? Now we're gonna take some time. You can do bullet points, you can write sentences, you could just like write all over the paper or type. You can do this digitally, but you're gonna start thinking, what will it take to achieve this goal? What kind of time do I need? Do I need to learn more skills? Do I have the skills? Do I need to work with others to achieve this? Do I need to join a community or a group where other people can help me and support me? Do I need a mentor? Is this gonna gonna cost me money? Do I need to do this away from the home, or can I do this from the comfort of my home? Am I gonna do this in the morning before my full-time job? Am I gonna do this in the evening when I get home from my full-time job? Am I going to work on this on the weekends? Am I gonna need to travel for this? Really think through everything that's involved with this goal. If you can think through all of this and just, again, we're getting it all out of our brain. The more you can get down on paper, the less scary it seems, the more doable it seems, because you've thought through everything. You've literally thought through all of it. I am someone who I love an itinerary. Now, I don't have to go buy the book. I don't have to follow that itinerary to the T, but I do like knowing what's going to happen. I like knowing, are we gonna go on some excursion on this day of the vacation? Are we gonna sleep in and just go to the beach on this day of the vacation? Then I know what to pack. Then I'm not overpacking. And then I know exactly what I can carry in my carry-on. I like to bring a carry-on and not have to check a bag. So knowing and having a plan with that itinerary keeps me being clear on what it is I need to pack. And if I know what it is I need to pack, I'm not stressed out about overpacking or not packing the right thing. So you see how it literally removes the stress and the fear from that vacation. And now I can go and fully enjoy because I know what we're gonna do. I know I'm gonna have the right clothes for it. I'm excited. Same thing with our goals. We take the goal out of our brain, we put it down on paper, then we think through everything that might happen or we might need to know or might need to do in order to make this goal a success. That's what you're doing. So you're gonna do a brain dump, you're gonna get it all out of your brain and get it on paper. All right, tip number 4, we're gonna create a plan. So kind of like the itinerary example I gave earlier, let's make a plan of how and what we're gonna do to achieve this goal. We've taken the time, we've gotten the goal out of our brain, which is tip number 1. We've chosen one goal in the event you wrote down multiple goals and got them out of your brain. I'm proud of you, but you chose one goal. And then tip number 3, you brain dumped everything it was gonna take. Now, tip number 4, we're gonna create a plan. So I highly encourage the 12-week year plan. The video that I did about this is linked in the description box below, but I also recommend the book, The 12-Week Year. This is a great system that gives you 12 weeks to work towards a goal and teaches you how to break that down. In the video, I explain my 5 takeaways that helped me with my own personal 12-week year and the plan and the processing that goes with that. But no matter what, whether you use that system or not, you've got to create some sort of a plan. Taking the goal out of your brain, brain dumping, having that one goal that you're working towards is great. But if you don't have a plan on how you're actually going to achieve it, it's gonna end up just right back in your brain and you're not gonna do anything with it. So let's take some time. Think about, when do you want to achieve this goal by? If you're following the 12-week year plan, you're gonna find a start date, and then 12 weeks from then, you're gonna have an end date. But if you're following something different, maybe your goal is a year, or it's only a month, or whatever, find a time that you wanna complete it by. Then start thinking, okay, what has to happen weekly? What has to happen monthly? What has to happen daily? Think through all of that. Come up with a plan of how you're actually going to achieve that goal. Use the brain dump list that you've already created to do that. Because if you can pull all the different things from your brain dump list that literally are the things that you are going to need to do to achieve that, you can just start plugging them in, and that's going to create your plan. Once you have a plan in place, I promise you, you're going to feel so confident when it comes to actually achieving this goal. And finally, tip number 5, I need you to tell somebody. I need you to tell somebody and get some accountability. When you have shared this with someone, it makes it so much more real. Like, I know earlier I talked about getting it out of your brain makes it more real because you've put it out in the world. But believe me when I tell you, if you can tell someone that you trust and that is there to support you and encourage you, that accountability is everything. Because you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I've told someone now. This is really real. Like, this is a real deal now. That was the difference maker for me in starting this YouTube channel. I wanted to start this for over 2 years. I finally told a dear friend of mine. She encouraged me. She was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, of course, why haven't you started it? So I finally took action, and I finally made a plan, and I finally did it, and here we are. But it wasn't until I finally told someone that it became super real and that I actually took myself more seriously. Having that encouragement from her was definitely super nice as well. This is me encouraging you to find someone to tell. Maybe it's your spouse, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's your best friend. Maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a sibling, maybe it's a friend that you work with. No matter who it is, make sure it's someone that you trust, and make sure it's someone that's going to help hold you accountable. Not somebody that's going to let you come up with excuses. No. This person is going to be the person that's like, hey, how is that coming along? What can I do to hold you accountable to actually taking action on that? When you share this with someone else, you are finally admitting that you want to achieve this, which is what makes it so real. And I encourage you to share the brain dump list with them, share the plan, share everything with them, because the more you can share, the more detail you can give, the better it will be. And not only are you going to believe that you're going to do this, but you now have someone else who also believes that you're going to do this. It can make all the difference, and it truly made all the difference for me, and that's why you're seeing me here on the screen right now. I want to wrap up by saying there are obviously all kinds of tips when it comes to goal setting, when it comes to eliminating the overwhelm, but again, I always speak from my personal experience, and these are some of the main tips that I needed when it came to actually taking action and achieving the goals that I wanted to achieve. And so now, knowing that, I take that with me anytime I set a new goal. Now I literally share it with you guys here on YouTube. I share my monthly goals with you. I share what it is that I'm working towards. You are my accountability, and I appreciate you so very much. So in the event that you've come up with your goal, come up with your brain dump list, you've come up with all of those things, drop it in the comments below. I would love to know what your goal is, what you're working towards, and I would love to see that you've worked through what it's going to take for you to achieve that. I want you to achieve your goals, and that is the whole point of this goal setting series. We're starting at the very beginning of what it's like to just set goals and be a beginner with goal setting. We're now working through the overwhelm, and we're going to continue on through the rest of this series to help support you and hopefully help give you the tools and the tips that you need so that you can truly reach your goals. That is my hope. That is my wish for you, and I know that you can do it, and I hope from the bottom of my heart that these tips that I'm sharing with you will be helpful. If something resonated with you in this video, if there was something that clicked with you and you really enjoyed, please let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and as always, if you haven't already, please subscribe. I love getting to do this. I have enjoyed this YouTube channel and getting to chat with so many of you, and I cannot wait to continue on with this series. So we'll see you next time.